to the regular meeting of the Rutland Town Select Board. It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. We know Sharon Russell is dealing with an ill family member, so she won't be in, but we have Kurt Hathaway, Joe DiNardo, Mary Ashcroft, and Matt Getty, so we have a quorum. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Citing in my binder. Oh, that was a mistake. Thank you. All right. We have select board minutes for the October 7th meeting.
To approve.
Motion's been made to approve.
Second.
And seconded. Any additions, deletions, corrections? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Abstain.
And one abstention, so it's 3-0-1. And I'll circulate. Okay. Next is the approval of the orders.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve them
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the orders, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0-0. Okay, are there any board member announcements? Nope, thank you. Update from the select board chair, a couple of quick things. The Circle article is due for the next edition of the Circle on November 15th. So you have a little time to, hone your creative writing skills there. Department heads, and I'm looking at 3-4 of you. November 15th. Okay. Oh,
they're all there.
okay. All right. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Learn on video.
So I have reminded you, I'll remind you again. The joint intermunicipal committee to meet with our city counterparts to discuss the 250th anniversary, and you can pick which, whether it's State of Vermont Independence or whether it's Independence Day for the US. Anyway.
Everybody else is doing 250 years for the country, but
Yeah,
I think-
we do it
It's your own
differently.
adventure, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, because
okay.
we didn't become an independent country for a few more years
Well,
after.
yeah, it was like we were independent for longer than Texas was.
Yes, but it was after.
Well, anyway, that joint intermunicipal committee, which we were going to be meeting, I think later this month, has been postponed because one of the people on the city committee resigned and they're looking for a replacement. So once that replacement is in, they'll be back in touch and we'll set. So I know all of you waiting anxiously for the outcome of that meeting. It won't happen right away. I think Barbara, if she's on, might talk about this a little bit, but Barbara and I met with Green Mountain Power concerning the Pocket Park, and we have a little report on that. Some good news and then some explanation about why there were suddenly some signs put up there. So, and that's something I wanted to run by the select board as well. Okay, that's what I have. Are there any questions from the floor, public comments, or anyone wish to say anything to us on items that are not otherwise something we'll be covering on our agenda? Yes, no?
We are going to cover Heather Lane, correct?
We are going to cover Heather Lane. I thought you might be here for that. Okay.
First.
All right. Yeah. Since you're here, and I don't see anyone on the Zoom call. Okay. Why don't we take up Heather Lane? You have in your packet a nice map. And a copy of the letter that Bill sent to residents of Heather Lane concerning the E911 proposed name change and a suggested name change. So could you identify yourself and come on up?
Come up.
Well, if you want.
Okay.
I mean,
Been promoted.
How about I
like
just
that.
stand? I'll go over here. That way.
we're not that
My
far.
name
It's
is
so,
Marvin Elliott.
okay.
I live on 62 Heather Lane.
Yep.
Um,
It's okay to sit down.
Have a seat.
We're not
Make
that
yourself
bad,
comfortable.
really.
There's our,
okay. I'm really not an elected representative. I'm just a person who I guess gives a damn. I don't want to put it that way. That makes it sound like they're not. And I think that everybody's just taking this kind of casually.
Mhm.
I was one of the people who had my address changed to Mendon. I think that was by a post office glitch. And it took, so that when it came to city, it put Mendon. So as long as we told Nick that happened, he ignored the Mendon because he's our mail guy and been there forever, and you know, he knows where we live and all that. But the UPS people, and it was driving people crazy because, you know, like, hey, what do you mean Mendon? Did you move? And, you know, that things like that. So yes, I was affected in that respect. By the way, that took a year.
To get
Took
it
a
straightened
year
out.
for it. And every once in a while, I find out whose mailing address list isn't up to date because it'll come through with Mendon on it. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic, kind of. We too were concerned, and we know that Mendon has a Heather Lane too.
Yeah.
Nobody went so far as to step up and do anything about it. At this point, without, as I said, I wasn't elected to this job, but I did go out and talk to at least some of the neighbors. And having my own preferences for different names that I was kind of partial to, but nobody else liked. And then one of them came up with extension because Crossman Drive is right there. It wouldn't seem, for those who don't know, you can see it comes in from Route 4 is Crossman Drive, and then it comes Heather Lane. So it would be a pretty simple thing to just call it Crossman Drive Extension. The only negative I have about it is that makes a pretty long name for our address. I mean, you know, Crossman Drive Extension, but we'll probably use EXT or something like
Yeah,
that.
DR period EXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's about it. And the people I talked to had no problem with that.
Good.
But I did run into a guy who lives at 97 and his address is getting changed to 99. And he said, why do I have to change my box number? Because somebody's GPS is 2 feet different than the other guys, you know?
I think you'll find that I don't think we need to change those very small ones.
Okay.
The letter didn't actually
Yeah,
specify, but Bill, am I correct that the only one that would have to be changed is 154?
So the numbers on the map are based upon correct measurements from the intersection
Right.
of what is now Crossman Drive, starting there. So these are correct numbers based upon accurate measurements. So that's why some of them are accurate. 62, 71, 83 are correct. The rest of them start to fall off from there. So it progressively kind of gets worse as you go down there. But if the name is gonna have to change, it's so 99 to 97, it's actually a 10-foot difference. It's not 2 feet, it's actually a 10-foot difference.
Yeah.
But that one is the least difference of any of them. So we could make a decision that we could leave 97 alone, but that'd be the only one we wouldn't change. But
But there was one that had to change on the other side because it threw the numbering off. Is that
Yes,
right?
so-
Okay.
the three right in the middle, those are. There's 154 should be 134, 161 should be 141. Those are off by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Those are wrong. And if you change those, 131 doesn't make sense anymore because it's too close. So it's lining things up, but they have to change the name anyway, because it is an actual name change. So changing the name and the number would
Yeah.
be logical to do it all in one shot.
And I think that'll satisfy him. He couldn't figure out
Yeah.
why that would change, but now we got an answer to that.
Yeah.
I think he'll be.
Since you're changing the name, you may as well line up the numbers the way they should be.
Not everybody knows that when you're doing the 911 system, they take a mile and divide it by 1,000. So so a mile is 5,280 feet. So the number changes are in 5 foot, is it the 5 feet?
5.2. Yeah.
To 8 feet.
Oh, I
So,
see.
so it's a consistent actual number, and that's how they come up with it. But,
Well, this
Yeah.
guy's an engineer, you know what? He'll understand that.
you know, and,
That's probably better
you know,
than
if you're
I do.
building, if you're putting footings down and, they're 2 feet short, he'll understand that that's not gonna work,
Yeah,
because the wall's gonna be longer.
so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for visiting with your neighbors and for
Right.
getting consensus on that. I mean, it was, we know it's a nuisance.
Oh,
We've done it in other neighborhoods and
but I think we had to face up to it sooner or
I
later.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
It-
this will take care of it.
And I think for you guys, it became a little more personal because you were having trouble getting stuff delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's agonizing,
Yes.
What the time schedule is not till we're gonna, after the holidays, is that what?
That's up,
Yeah.
we have discretion on that. So yeah, it would be appropriate to have it done in January.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
So
really
you'll
don't-
get through one more holiday season with your
Yeah.
current address, which should help you.
Will we get an official letter or something?
Well,
like that?
Well, we haven't voted on it.
Correct.
Oh, well,
Right,
I mean,
so we
assuming
should
it's
probably
a-
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we'll know and we'll assign, the numbers according to this and Crossman Drive extension, if that's what we agree to do. Speaking of which, is there a motion?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I will interpret that as,
Yes.
motion is made to change Heather Lane in Rutland Town to Crossman Drive Extension and to align the numbers for the addresses according to the map that Bill has produced. That was the motion, right?
That's what I heard.
Okay, I thought it might be.
I couldn't have said that better.
That's what I heard.
All
And
right.
in fact, you didn't.
Is there any discussion? Oh, effective date, January 1st.
You want- yep,
That's in the
Uh,
motion. I heard that.
What's the first?
Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, that gets you through the holiday.
Yeah.
And so that should be, you're gonna have probably trouble with packages being delivered, but it's gonna take a while for this to all sink in anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
And letters to go out.
yep.
Okay,
To that
so all of that, any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. And thanks again. We appreciate the neighborhood helping us out on this one.
glad to be at a meeting finally.
Okay, next, Mike Rowe. I think we're ready to go into, does anybody else need to take anything out of order? Don't you hate that when you're ready to go and,
I don't care.
okay, come on up.
I'm attitude. I learned it from you.
I know.
First as far as the budgeting, we need to schedule a rec committee meeting, and so Sharon asked me just to put a date out if before the next meeting works. It shouldn't take us very long. I've already preliminary done it. It's done for the most part, just for us to go over and make it right. So I'll send an email out to Bill and then we'll go forward if that will work for you.
Okay, just
Okay.
as a reminder, we took a look at what we had talked about, and we hope to have a budget meeting on December 9th. That's a Tuesday in between our regular meetings. And we'll do the general and we'll look at the other, all of the departments as best we can, I think, and then finalize it hopefully before the end of the year. That's, I mean, it's a little bit fluid, but we've got that meeting date set aside.
Perfect. Today, all the water is officially shut off at all the parks. So we're good there. I got one last little mow and then some bunch of baseball field work to do. We had an issue with one of our tractors, the tractor that Dave and I share, is not functioning and has been at the shop for 2 weeks and haven't heard anything. So we're waiting to hear back. That's also the sidewalk plow tractor. So
Who broke it?
diagnosed
but no, it's been a, yeah, no. I don't have any information for you.
Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance we get to keep this tractor?
Yeah. Oh, we'll keep the tractor. It
Mhm.
depends on what's going to be inside of it when we figure it all out. But we have not heard back yet. So hopefully sooner rather than later, and we'll keep you posted. We had our senior luncheon today at Baxter's Restaurant. We had, I don't know, like 36 people show up and probably 4 or 5 newbies,
Good.
which was great. We're trying to grow the crowd. They had a wonderful time. Baxter's did a fantastic job for the group. And they were very spirited group today. So that was excellent. We are planning the 18th. Chief, I will contact you. That will be our annual Thanksgiving dinner.
Mhm.
That will be at Center Fire Station and it will be catered by Kamuta's Market. It'll
Good.
be the turkey stuffing, our
Nice.
usual one that we do.
Yeah.
There over at Center Fire that we've done for years and years and years. And then they set the other senior luncheon on the 17th of December, which will be at the school with a jazz band, like they've done the past couple of years as well. So we're getting
Good.
close to the holidays, as we all know. Soccer wrapped up this past weekend. It was a great experience. We hosted at our place. We didn't do it this Saturday. They did the Jamboree at Otter Valley. But, you know, as we were saying earlier, we were turning over about 80 cars an hour at Northwood. And it all went very smoothly. Got a lot of positive
Good.
comments and compliments on how things went. So very happy that that went and we'll continue with that. Basketball signups are ongoing. So please, because that's starting. We have our directors meeting next week to get that all started to go. And did my first background check today. We are all good to go. It went very smoothly.
Good.
So we have a system in place where we keep the stuff. And should be a fairly smooth process moving forward.
Did that include the fingerprinting too?
Well, that goes through,
Yeah.
that's the second phase that they have to then go up there and get fingerprinted, and then I get that information back.
Okay.
And once I get that, it goes into a file cabinet foldered and it's all labeled. And thanks to Bill's help, we got a new little file cabinet and
Okay.
we have it in a secured location.
Good.
Other than that, unless anybody has any
Okay.
questions or anything. Oh, Halloween party is Friday. The weather's not looking the greatest, so we would shift to indoors for the two of you, even though if you want to plant yourself outside. Okay, well, I'm gonna make the decision probably around 12 o'clock, depending on what Friday's bringing, whether we're gonna go outside or not. I'm not gonna do it in the rain. In the gym is where we used to do it many, many years ago, is the backup. So we might be inside, but even if you guys are right out front or on the side of the building, then that would be great, like you normally do. But I did want to tell you that we might have to make a slight adjustment depending on the weather, but we are still planning to go ahead on Friday, this Friday. Perfect. All right, awesome.
Questions for Mike? How's the South End sewer project? Oh, no, why am I asking you?
Nice guy.
Hey, no, we expanded your authority. We just didn't tell you.
South End, so, well, okay, so you want the dirty part? You want the clean part? You want the mixed fluid and waste? Which part do you want?
No,
Rumor
it's
has it
just-
there's still a hole and there's piping involved.
Okay, all right, so I think
Pretty
we'll leave it
accurate.
with Dave.
Yeah,
We will.
good
Is
enough.
that pretty much covered? Em, is there any other bad news you want me to drop? Because I can be your
Okay.
fall guy right now.
See you later, Dave.
You may want to hang around a little bit for the pocket park.
Is she
Yeah,
kind of quick? Is Barbara on or not yet?
not yet, but,
Okay, yeah, sure.
okay, yeah.
Not
thanks.
a problem.
All right, just ignore all of that. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Dave Sears, Town Road Commissioner. I was just anticipating that you were already up here and,
It is riveting stuff.
yeah.
All right, so the last couple of weeks have kind of been getting ready for winter. So we filled our building with salt, we sprayed it ourselves. So you might notice there's a bill in there for around $50,000.
I saw that. Mhm.
That gets us started. Hopefully it gets us finished, but we'll see. We took some time, the last couple of weeks rebuilding the sandbox for the residents. We made it a little bit bigger so we can actually get the loader bucket in it and not knock the thing over every time we put sand in it. So
Okay, and that's for use by residents, so in
Yes.
their own private use, and it's not for
contractors or
contractors or
businesses,
people who might have,
correct.
yeah, management, businesses or anything like that.
And,
Okay,
and for the most part, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you have to put the run to somebody, but for the most part, everybody's pretty respectful.
okay.
We had a couple trees down on Grove Street we took care of. We installed, I don't know, I think 8 new street signs because people like to put them in their bedrooms apparently. Don't know. Like, why do you take a Sawzall, cut a signpost off and steal the sign?
What's the name of the
Obviously,
street?
timber. Obviously, you need it in your bedroom for some reason. Why? There's no,
See if anyone goes for Crossman
I
Drive
sometimes
extension.
I do believe these are challenges.
That could be.
Oh,
I'm sure Timber Lane's probably up at some deer camp somewhere.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I have a deer sign on my back porch, but I bought it, just so people know.
I'd like to see the
Sure.
receipt.
Moving right along.
Moving along. Sewer update. Dun, 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 dun. So everything's going rather smoothly down there, believe it or not. They're late last week, they were pushing the pipe through and they ran out of the centering brackets.
Oh.
So they kind of had to stop. So as soon as they're ordered, they're coming this week. As soon as they get them, they'll get the rest of the pipe through. The manhole in front of Aspen Dental has been changed and the pipe has been relayed from there to the new manhole by Taco Bell. So that whole piece, all that's left to do there by Aspen Dental is just pave that little stretch of parking lot. That piece is done. It's working. I sent the guys down on Monday to flush that because that's what we've been doing for months and months and months. And there was a little bit of solids in there, but they said once the sports clips gets rolling, they put enough water in there, it keeps everything moving and it's all good. So it's a maintenance thing off our list, which is really great. They're starting this week putting in the manholes on the east side of the street and kind of tying that whole thing together. So the tedious part was obviously the drilling and now getting the pipe in. Once they get that all in, they just got to basically put the manholes in and start connecting the dots and then run that little, 130-foot stretch from the boring pit to the new manhole. And they've been testing all of the manholes and the pipes as they go. They're all passing so far what they've got done. So we're moving along and the pace should actually pick up now that they're done with the tough, tedious, deep stuff. So that's that. And last time I was in here, I had mentioned that the city was looking to increase the sewer rate or the hydrant flushing rates. I made a call to the Commissioner of Public Works and told him about our displeasure and that we were considering taking care of our own maintenance. I had a visitor yesterday from the water treatment manager, and he said that the information that was put out there was incorrect or is an error. So what we have been paying is $50 per hydrant per year.
Hmm.
They wanted to raise it to $50 per hydrant billed twice a year. So it's basically $100 per hydrant a year. However you want to break it down.
So instead of, what was it?
We were paying $50 per hydrant one
Right,
time a year.
but what did they say they were gonna charge us?
200.
Originally, they said they were going to charge us $200 twice a year.
Well, I thought 400 was,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a big increase.
Okay,
So they have walked that back to basically $100 a year. So that'll have to be adjusted in budget if that's what we want to do, or if we want to continue looking at doing it ourselves, which is, it gets kind of clunky.
Mhm.
Just because it's kind of monkey in the middle kind of thing, but it's something that we probably need to discuss.
It's easier to swallow $100 than it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever, yeah.
So during my conversation with him, some other stuff came up. There's a disconnect between the city and the town, obviously, on some of this stuff. This hydrant stuff, like Bill doesn't necessarily know what the city's doing. The city doesn't tell us, we don't tell them. So Bill is trying to get this hydrant maintenance thing under control. So he's sending letters to people, or has sent letters to businesses saying you need to do something to prove to us that you're maintaining your hydrants. So they hire a company to come in and flush their hydrants, test their hydrants, and the city's already doing them. So this company's paying the city to do it, and then they're paying a contractor to do it because they don't know. So we have been invited by the city to sit down and have a conversation about how we can make this not so clunky, so we can talk amongst each other. Also, we just did that new water tap on Post Road across from Chessiana Drive. The city did it for us, but there's like no, like they got a permit from us. The homeowners got a permit from us to do the connection. Then I made the calls to the distribution department, but the city didn't actually have a permit. So you start to get all these disconnects, and everybody's trying to figure, and then the city doesn't know who to bill because they don't have a permit. So they bill us instead of the customer. So we would like to sit down with them and try to figure some of this stuff out, if that is
Sure.
good
I
with
mean, I don't
everybody.
think that
It's
rises to the select
procedural.
board level at this point. It's
Okay, I just-
department to department, right? You
Yeah, I
folks
think
wanna
that's
be
fine. I mean,
involved? Yeah.
if you want to meet, if you want Kurt and I there to like a committee meeting to do it, that's fine. I believe that, or I thought when this started with the city maintaining the hydrants, they were doing the ones that were in the town right away. Only. That's how it started. So technically those are ours in the right of way. The ones that are outside the right, like Green Mountain Plaza,
Right.
Green Mountain Power, they're responsible for them. Am I fairly close on
Businesses
that,
are
Bill, or no?
responsible.
The city does our municipally owned hydrants as well as some that are designated as private. I only knew they were doing 3. Turns out they're doing more.
Okay.
So Tom Garofalo called me yesterday after talking with Dave, and he and I had a very, very good conversation for a while. And so Dave and I talked today, and we're like, yeah, we should sit down and figure out which
Which
what
ones
we all
is
are,
the-
because
yeah.
we are all working toward the same thing in a totally different way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
okay.
are driving on 2 different roads to get to the same town.
Yeah, I kind of see that as admin, but if you guys want to be involved, that's fine. I don't think
Whatever.
it needs
It's up
to.
to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
If
to
you
me.
hit a snag, then bring it
Yeah,
back to the board.
We can
but-
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's-
Bill, of course, you should be
Yeah.
in on that, since
Yeah.
you're the letter writer that,
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
We'll get together and we'll make that happen.
okay, good.
And it's, again, it's basically procedural. It's,
Mhm.
how do we get a permit for a connection and they get looped in because they're the ones ultimately doing the work.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, the other thing, if you come up with a number and a location for the hydrants, they're doing,
So-
that's a
Part of their,
big plus.
as they're trying to sort all this stuff out. Bill has the locations already at 37, I believe it is. Municipal.
Municipal, yeah. So the database that I have a GPS location and an E911 address for every hydrant in town. Every single one of them. So I have them all broken down by municipal or private or whatever, but the city's also going to be starting to put tags. They're going to be tagging each hydrant with its own individual number. We will have a series of numbers starts with either like 900 or 1,000 will be the town numbers and only our numbers. So in the event of like these new hydrants that have to get pumped out in the wintertime, if they get used, we can call and say it's hydrant number 1049 and they'll be like, done. Like, so
So you'll have
I
a
have them.
location, a number and a,
Every hydrant in town has a locatable address assigned to it right now.
So when I was in my former life, we had a GIS map and it showed all of the hydrants in the city and it showed all the hydrants in the town. The hydrants in the city had all of the information, the nozzles, the flow, all that stuff. The hydrants in the town didn't have numbers. They were just a spot on a GIS map.
Mhm.
So you could, see, well, there's one on the corner of Ranbury Road, but you didn't have any information on it. This way these will be they'll be
Good.
numbered, be able to get all that information and with, like he said, GPS coordinates and. the whole
really
thing.
be good if both communities have the same numbers.
Well, that would be
same
really
Same
nice too.
information.
That's,
system, yeah.
when we have our budget meeting, we'll be talking about such a thing.
Okay, because, one of the things that I found out in this conversation with Dave is the old style hydrants that have been in existence forever, that drain on site,
Uh-huh.
are no longer allowed on that municipal
Oh.
system. So I don't know, are they going through and just changing them, or are they changing them as they run into problems?
As they run into problems,
Okay.
yeah.
And
We
do
got-
we need to do the same?
Well, yeah, the
Okay.
city, there's LaValley's,
Yeah,
LaValley's and Seward Road, I think are the two that don't, those are the two that don't drain.
yeah, that one, the one that Windcrest Road in the dip, remember? That one never drained.
It's pretty good, sitting in the swamp.
Yeah,
That-
that
that
was
was
never
never-
gonna drain if you put a vacuum pump in it.
Yeah, that one never, every time we used it, they'd have to go down and pump it out because it'd be
Yeah.
frozen next time, so.
And we,
Once they
we
can-
took those apart a couple times when I was there and
Yeah.
tried to plug them and it just doesn't work.
No.
Half of them work, half of them don't.
So
Sometimes
just
they
going to
drain
the new
slow.
style that
sometimes-
don't drain and
Yeah,
because they don't want groundwater getting into the potable water. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And down there it will.
Yeah,
Yes.
but if you know how the drains in those hydrants work, the groundwater can never get into the potable water anyway, but that's a different
Yeah.
discussion.
It's theory.
Yeah.
in theory.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so anything else for
That's all I
our
got.
road commissioner? Glad to see the salts in.
We're ready.
Good.
Oh, I was
good,
gonna
thanks.
ask you, where's the Kenworth? Is it,
Earls.
okay.
Oh.
Well, I dropped off your toolbox the other day.
Yeah, no,
And we're short a truck here.
We're gonna change the registration to just,
Have Jim register it?
yeah,
Yeah,
just easier.
yeah, we'll rent it off them.
Yeah.
Well, if he gets rid of it, tell him not to park it by the side of the road.
Okay,
Get
Will
touchy
do.
about that. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Dave.
You too. Is John Paul on?
You missed your police chief.
Did yeah, Ed Dumas, come on. Anybody wanna, take over, chair this thing?
I do not have much tonight really to speak of. I have been checking on the Diamond Mall every couple of days and there's no fence yet.
Mm,
Anxiously awaiting. Looks like there's some gopher holes in the back of the
I don't know if
mall where
it's-
people are going in and out.
yeah, there's no activity,
Around,
construction crews.
no.
Yeah.
No construction.
I don't think they're gonna mobilize that fast. Because they were on job somewhere else
Yeah.
and then you get the permit and it's not like we're gonna drop where we are because that customer is gonna be very irate.
Yeah, they got a bridge in Pittsburgh they have to get done like
Oh,
very,
Lord.
very soon.
So, yeah, we don't know what they're putting up for a fence, do we?
It's,
Yeah.
it's
not-
probably the temporary 6-foot chain link,
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say,
kind of what I assumed.
unless they, yeah, I won't go there.
okay.
unless they put razor wire on it, people will still be in there, but
Well, I was thinking insulators and electricity.
Do
yeah.
you have a sense for when you want to do a
We could,
police
we could
budget
fix
meeting?
that. Go down there
That
some night.
three-phase out front.
Heads out this week. He'll be back next week.
Okay. What's your, what's your schedule?
Talk about it later.
All right. Yeah, we just put a finance committee.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything further for our town police chief?
You have a good story to brag about. You want to talk about that?
What's that?
Door drive? Guess
Sorry, yeah, we did,
Yeah.
we did have, couple things. We got the new tasers. We're all certified on them now.
Okay, good.
I have the holsters for them for everybody, even left-handed people. It's quite a tool. I'll say that. What do you call them? The thing put on your head VR or whatever is
Yeah.
video,
Oh,
virtual reality
yeah.
is a hoot to watch it. I spent more time chuckling, watch the guy flop around the ground than better in real life, I think. Anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't actually tase anybody now. That's a bummer.
And then we also got the 2 left-handed holsters for the
Oh, good.
new weapons. So probably I suspect before this month is over, we'll all be. without
Only
the-
taking you all summer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, taken a long time, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should be all up to speed then on that.
So did you respond to both door? I saw that Rooster did his,
So during training, Officer Placus left.
I
with
should have
K9
mentioned
Rooster,
his officer first.
twice, I believe. One time to go down there and he hit on 6 vehicles that they had to do search warrants on. I'm not sure what the outcome was on them, but then they stopped the car somewhere else and Rooster was able to hit on that car and they got half a kilo of crack and a bunch of fentanyl and a bunch of cash. So
So you sniff that too.
what's that?
Can you smell the cash?
I think what the cash is mixed with it, what smells. Usually they go, we don't train the dogs to sniff cash. The byproducts thereof, of which it was used to purchase something. But yeah,
Interesting.
he is a well-used tool by the law enforcement community in Greater Rutland County.
And if any of the other surrounding towns want to send, like food, Christmas gifts,
We take it.
we take it. Yeah, as their thank you. Yeah.
Yes, he is definitely a really good tool. Jimmy's a really good handler
Yes.
and takes a lot of pride, really hands-on. I mean, we always see the brains run down the leash and Brewster's a good dog, so.
Well, thank Officer Placus for us, please. Yeah.
Just, aren't you still waiting on holsters for the guns also? Is that resolved?
They came.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, I was over at town hall, so that box is yours, open up and those are the 2 holsters we're waiting for.
The
So
left-handed one.
Because I thought you were talking, before I thought you were talking about tasers, so,
I was.
right. So they were both all set in it right away.
I'm
We're all
not the
trained.
only one. Oh, yeah, it's not.
This is what happens when you're trying to do multiple tasks at once.
Yes.
Your home life, your work life, and town life.
I was right about that though.
Yeah. So. and
Okay, is there anything else for our chief of police?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Barbara Noise Pulling. Hey, Barbara.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
So I set you up. We did meet with Green Mountain Power, so why don't you fill in the select board because it's going to be a budget thing coming up. In a good way, I think.
Right, and yeah, and please add in what I miss. They have certain things that they put in their relicensing to FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, that they are required to do because they said that the area that they gave the town is going to be a recreational area. And so FERC said, if that's the case, then here are some conditions for your licensing. And there's a couple ones that are coming due in December, this December. So GMP got a late start on that, letting us know about that. But these are things they're responsible for. And one is a kiosk, and which they will pay for. And the other part of that is coming up with the content for the kiosk. And they're required by their license to work with all of the tribes in Vermont, not just the ones that, most likely resided in this area or came to and from this area. So that is something that we'll be working with GMP on. The kiosks they'll pay for and they'll put up once we get the content. And there's going to be a recreation monitoring program after the installation of the whole park. Was that, Mary, or just
I think just the first phase.
The first
I
phase.
think, I mean, but we would. Yeah, fair enough. I haven't seen their minutes yet, but they did have minutes coming to us
Right,
summarized.
right. And yeah, and back to the December deadline, they're thinking they're gonna have to get an extension for
Right,
that.
right.
They have a safety sign that was mistakenly put up on the property, which they said they will remove. It's like, you know, a high water kind of
Well,
where.
yeah,
fountain-
here's the thing. I mean, they do have to do new FERC requirements say they do have to put up signage. They have beefed up their signage all over and all across wherever they have, you know, power plants. And one of the things, they have to get the landowner's permission. And since we're the landowners, if we want that sign down, we can say, take it down. I was ready to take it down because I didn't know who put it up. And then they sheepishly kind of said, yeah, that was us. We just went around. I said, well, I think you put it in land that never even belonged to you because they put it on the 50-foot right of way piece. Anyway, so I wanted to run it by the select board. My inclination right now is just to leave the signs, knowing that once we get the first phase, which is the overlook on the old road right of way in, we're going to be moving that sign anyway. But what's your thought? Do we have them take the signs down now because they're on our land, or just say leave it for the time being, and when we do the kiosk and start working there, we're going to ask you to move it?
Doesn't really hurt anything. I mean, it does make people aware that there is a potential there for
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Doesn't harm anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up probably right where the water wouldn't get to, but who knows, you know,
Yeah.
so,
I would hope.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have big problems. if it
Start
comes
doing the
up.
math
Read
with
this
water.
later.
Water's there.
I know.
They're not gonna need the sign to know.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
even need
Real
it.
problem.
If you can read the sign, you're okay.
You're gonna be swimming over there from
Okay,
somewhere.
so we'll tell them that they can leave the sign for the time being, but we're, you know, as we progress with what we're doing, we'll be in touch with them and they'll have to relocate the sign, so.
Is it in the way of something?
Well, it's right pretty much where we would be putting the walkway over to the overlook, following the old road. And the overlook will stop, of course, where the bridge used to be, so there'll be a fence there. So, okay,
Yeah, yeah, and then, so that's their part of this, not
Right.
just that sign, but the
Yeah.
kiosk and working on the content. And then doing that recreational monitoring program, which may include some surveys with the town. For our part, we talked to them about getting started on the walkway from the parking area in Simons to the overlook and make that ADA compliant. Some safety barriers, additional parking, picnic tables, and clearing, a general clearing, but particularly invasive plant clearing in the area.
Yep.
And Mary, you indicated that we might do some of that work in this budget year.
yes, I think so. I spoke last night, in fact, with a person who does some landscaping work, and she can identify, she's willing to come in and mark. We'd have to pay her, but I don't have a number for you. I'll get that. Mark the invasives. So when and probably more in the spring, I don't know if we'd have a chance to do it this fall. And then have some volunteers. And we've got a number of folks who will volunteer, go in and clear some of the invasives out of there. So we start opening up the place and getting out the bad stuff. Target, by the way, to do the kiosk and maybe having at least partially cleared there would be Memorial Weekend. We thought it would be nice. It would tie in with the 250th anniversary of whatever we wish to commemorate.
1777 is the year you're looking for. so
Well,
we're not there yet.
I mean, we could do, no, we were talking this coming Memorial Day, so it would be the US 250th.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a target we gave them, and then they'll be able to go to FERC and say, we couldn't get it done by December, but here are some of the other things that are going to happen, and we're looking at Memorial Day weekend. So a lot of it within this budget year, but I don't think it's going to be, you know, a lot of expensive stuff, because we're going to rely on someone to mark and then volunteers coming in. So that's what I wanted you to hear, Mike. That's kind of where we are. We will be turning to some of the departments, most likely highway and rec, to help with getting that walkway over and getting, and maybe and hopefully the architect. I'm going to find out, not an architect, but the landscaper. I want to find out from her how much expertise she has in designing barriers, like at the end, and designing walkways ADA compliant, or is she just the plant person? So I'll try and find that out. But that's.
And I don't know, because I don't know in particular, but as far as the access, is that more of a gravel or a paved? Has that been determined?
It has not.
Yes,
Now, we don't, remembering that we didn't get the grant we were going after that would have required us to use certain kinds of material. So when I say ADA compliant, we don't have to. We probably want to come close. So we can keep that in mind, because we're not using grant money to do any of this. It'll be town money.
But if we ever wanted to turn it over, then from, let's say we went to a gravel, we wanted to turn it over to a paved, we
Yeah.
would close it with the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get ADA compliance with gravel.
I
if I remember
might be
right.
able
It's
to.
gotta be
Yeah.
like a half-inch minus compacted.
Okay.
You gotta keep certain slopes and whatnot, but
Yeah, certain slopes are,
So
yeah.
then on my end, I'll start gearing up in April. Once the snow kind of goes and getting it planned so that in
Okay.
May, first part of May, we start. I don't think it's this extensive project, am I correct? Couple of.
It should
days,
not be.
you know,
Are we waiting until Dave left? Oh, he's on. Oops.
So that's okay, but you know, if it is, are we talking a week-long I mean, that's.
No,
fine.
no,
Okay.
no.
So we can plan accordingly and kind of ramp up in the first part of April
Okay.
and be like, okay, we're gonna do it in May, you know, get everybody's calendar clean. like,
Yeah.
Swap them out some raw stuff or some
So
process.
Dave has these couple of days, it's
Mhm.
gonna take us this week.
hit it with my Harley rake could probably.
You're good with that? And
I
then
think
with
that
the
sounds
Harley
good.
rake could be fun.
Memorial Day, it's,
Yeah,
Big chunk
there's a
trailer.
something.
there's a something.
Okay.
He's got a bunch of
That's
it.
good.
Place for you.
Okay.
Once it.
Here's a plan. Dave, did you hear that? We just volunteered the highway department to help.
We did a while ago and he said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was agreeable when we were doing the grant application.
Right.
One of the things that we might look at for materials, the town has that pile of asphalt, up ground asphalt for millings.
Mhm.
And come up with, I mean, once you put that down and get it graded and it warms and cools once, it's gonna stay there.
Okay.
And that's a, be really,
Roll it, hit it
If
with,
you roll it, it'll help it even more.
right.
you
Okay.
roll it, hit it with calcium chloride and water. and
All right.
do the
So we
dry
do
for
have
the
some
summer and
material
set
that
right
we
up.
Okay.
No.
Good. Good,
How
good.
far is that stretch, Mary, like feet wise from the road to ballpark?
Mm.
50, 100? Barb, how far is it?
Barb might know.
Oh,
Scott Club is like
I don't have
200
the
feet.
map with me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have it. You know, I would say probably closer to 100 feet
Yeah.
than
Okay.
50.
Yeah.
Probably 100, yeah. 100 to
Probably
80.
I'm just trying to,
100,
I
yeah.
was trying to visualize, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the town planning commission would love to be part of the content creation.
Yes.
They already kind of signed up for that with that grant application too, and they're kind of excited
Mhm.
about this. And GMP offered a couple security suggestions for us, you know, for keeping the park safe.
Mhm.
One is a game camera. They say those are pretty effective as long as someone goes and downloads the video and looks at it. And they also said that the plant manager across the river does spot checks from time
Right.
to time, and that would continue, right, Mary?
Yes, he's doing it already, and it'll continue. And the whole rec thing, the rec survey thing, I mean, I think they can pick up some of the information, both from those checks and from, you know, the game camera. So I don't think it's a huge, you gotta do questionnaires all over town or anything like that.
Close enough to the fire station?
Just out of curiosity,
You'd put the booster.
do they have
With a bridge?
cameras on
Some stuff.
at their park?
You do it.
And
On the other
just
side,
be online?
I'm sure they, well, I'd say
I
I'm
mean,
sure they do, but I don't know for a
I guess
fact.
my question
Yeah.
would be.
Run a corridor to
going that
Johnson's,
far,
plug it
is
in one of those outside outlets.
Security wise, camera that looked right over,
Yeah.
if they already have stuff on their side.
Do they
Yeah.
make solar
Now,
security?
again, this is their
backup?
obligation, so we don't have to do it.
Right, but we could suggest, hey,
Right.
instead of a game camera, just.
Some way
put up
get
a camera that
internet
already
from
have the
center
system in
station.
place Across.
Monitor and to
monitor
check.
already-
Yeah.
Already.
Another
Okay,
technological,
we can check with
As,
them.
as a thought.
Okay,
anyway, the side conversation was, is it close enough to center station
uh-huh,
to you know, with the right equipment to use the Wi-Fi from center and actually put a camera?
okay.
The-
Do you
We
think?
need power, but I just, you know, I just was having the conversation sort of with Bill about solar cameras that, you know, would have batteries, you know, that would solar rechargeable batteries or something. So might be some options that would be like real-time camera.
Yeah,
We were having the same conversation that you were having, but
Yeah.
from a different. perspective.
but from the different angle.
You know, I mean, I suppose if push came to shove, you could get a service there. And have power, you know, you're gonna, I mean, if you had to.
If we had to.
Yeah, it's always a good deterrence. It's.
And we've got the,
some
it's good
deterrent.
deterrence, and Bill does the safety grants every once in a while, and that might be one that we could, you know,
We've done some unique ones.
Yeah.
okay. So that's where we are. So we're looking for some activity, working on the signage, and the kiosk is going to be we can change out the signage. There's some
Yeah.
parts that GMP says has to remain, and I think that's more about the history of the Native Americans that have used it. But then there's stuff we can do, and I said to GMP, we want your history in here too, because this is a pretty unique site. It's early water power. It was it was a pre-Revolutionary War mill site in the fort. And so there's a lot of stuff huge amount of history there.
Well, yeah, Vermont Marble,
Yes,
they had the generating site
Yes.
there, right?
yeah.
That's,
Yep.
so
And
that's,
GMP bought that.
yeah.
Yeah.
and then when GMP took over their power supply, I guess, they got the equipment, but that was actually VM's
Yeah.
generating facility there.
Yeah, yeah. And
there's-
hopefully we'll have more than just the kiosk at some point
Yes.
to explain all that history, but at least we get the kiosk and there's two sides, front and back, to a kiosk that we can add information to.
And we're getting it for free. Ha, ha, ha.
And we're getting.
Well, that's it.
Your electric rates call.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it comes to this, anything to do, I don't see any word free in there anywhere.
Perhaps not low cost. We're doing it on a
Affordable.
tight budget. Okay. So anything else, Barbara?
We will start working on the budget and we'll keep working on the bylaw. And remember last time when I said the commission wanted to go for an MPG grant for the town plan? Since then, and before I've had a chance to meet with them, the executive director of the Regional Planning Commission says, just flatly said, we will do your plan for you.
Oh,
So I think.
I'm assuming with our input.
Well, of course,
Okay.
yes, but I think that would be a cheaper way to go, and I'll run that by the Town Planning Commission on
Okay.
Thursday.
Good. All right.
Because I'd like to get the bylaw, done, all wrapped up, and then shift our attention to the park and to the town plan, which are kind of related, but.
Yeah, there. By the way, comment period ends tomorrow for the regional plan. So if we early on, you'll remember we put some comments in which were accepted and incorporated. So if you want to take a look tonight and see what's in the regional plan. But I think a component I'm still waiting on, and that's the definitions of some of the areas which is
Hmm.
not controlled by the regional commission. It will be controlled at the state level. That's
Mhm.
kind of how I understood some of it. So take a
Yeah,
look
I
as you
think-
wish, but I didn't do any write up and I didn't comment any further. So. Okay.
Yeah,
Anything
that's the
else?
first regional plan to go through the new process, the new Act 250, new LURB, Land Use Regulatory Board process. So I think they were still waiting on some agency feedback and maybe on those definitions. And it's it's brand new to everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of frankly, a backward way of doing it, but there you have it.
Mm.
We did put our comments in early on. Any questions for Barbara and the Planning Commission? Nope. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
Yes, indeed. Larry is not on. Okay. Marcia.
No, Marcia, but you have the thing in your.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of hoping she
That's
would
actually
be
next
on.
on the agenda.
Yeah, another errors and emissions form. And this one is, if this is a big number, and there is attached to it an explanation. This is a grievance that Velco put in apparently in September this year, just a month ago. Christy Wright of Property Valuation Review had an addendum for our listers concerning valuation of the Velco property for an additional $4 million for valuation. And then within a month in Velco's involvement, that $4 million apparently was an error. So the errors and emissions certificate would, yeah,
So I read this
reduce. I did too, but I'm
several
not sure.
times,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I don't think we should take action without an explanation from the listers, but
Yeah.
my ultimate interpretation was, I think this is related to what Marcia was telling us about last time, which is some value got shifted basically from real to personal or whichever way. And then, so that's not really a change, but a change in how it's listed. And then, but then the 2.68 million
Yeah.
is a reduction.
Well, but she shows on her worksheet a $6.7 million reduction. So,
Right, but so.
yeah, I think an
it needs to be explained
explanation
because
would
this
be
was
in order.
not decipherable to the layperson.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. Mike, I'm hopeful that this is correct, but because this all happened within a month, it didn't affect anything we did with the tax rate or any reliance on the grand list. And I hope that's correct. And I just really want to make sure we confirm
That's the
that.
case. There's more of a question of degree, probably.
Yeah. So if you can hang on to that. And if Marcia could join us for the next select board meeting, and Bill, if you could put that on.
Yep.
Next, that would be great. Okay.
I'm a little trouble understanding the numbers.
I'm trying to remember
Well,
what
the
we
numbers don't.
signed, because we signed something a month ago about
No,
it.
but we signed two that transferred something from personal property to real or the opposite.
That sounds
And then
familiar.
there were two errors and omissions because one had to deal with taking it off and the other had to deal with putting it on. So we didn't lose any net value. We did in the category,
Yeah.
which meant the tax rate was different.
So this is separate.
But this appears to be separate.
This is
I think they're saying that now
business
after they
personal
did that,
property.
they had discovered
Yeah,
that the
I
personal
was
property was
thinking
otherwise
about it.
overstated.
I don't get where the $6 million deduction is.
Yeah, I don't either. So,
Cause I
Okay.
thought the deduction was different.
well, the one that we saw
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. I'm not as confused.
So
as-
no, we're all
I'm not alone being
confused,
confused.
but
so.
we're at about the same level of confused, which is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll ask Marcia to explain this. Chris Clark, Town Fire Chief. Thanks for coming in.
Not a lot, as usual.
We like that.
Kevin said Monday is good, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
You just want to do that or the budget stuff too?
Well, we can start with the budget stuff if you have a draft,
I can probably have it ready by
but
then.
you know, bylaws do take a while, so. And you got 2 lawyers who are gonna be looking, 3 if you count.
Would I tell you the
Oh,
last
no,
time?
no, sorry.
Yeah.
Two lawyers counting Kevin, so,
Would I tell you the last time, 50-something years?
yeah.
It's
This'll
a work
be
in
quick.
progress.
It always will be.
It always will be.
So we'll do that Monday, 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
We did our hose testing last week at the mall. We only lost 1 length of 1.5 inches. So that's pretty good for
Pretty good
having,
year.
yeah,
Better hopes.
we have a lot of hose, so that's very good for this year. Pump testing, Ed Eaton's supposed to call tomorrow, so I don't know a date for that yet. He'll tell me tomorrow. Our biggest, issue is finding water. All the ponds are pretty dry right now, so I think we found a place, so. I just have to get the owner's permission, but they already said yes once, so we should be good on that, so he'll call tomorrow. Wonder Feet, I don't know if anybody went down for the big truck or treat, but huge success,
Good.
lots and lots of kids there. We gave out tons of candy. We're going to the school Friday, and we might be going to Home Depot Safety Day on Saturday.
And you're going up to the Meadows, the Gables?
Yeah, that's next Wednesday.
Okay. So is the police department going to these 2 or don't they get invited?
I'm not sure. I think they go to the, they're going to the school.
One at Home Depot.
Okay.
I don't even invite that either.
Okay.
Ask.
All right, fine.
Maybe Officer Placus would want to go to the Home Depot because with the dog. It's this Saturday. Oh, all the state police usually come with a dog and give
Oh.
give some kind of.
I don't think they have one here now, do they? I
Well,
think
well,
it
I'm not
retired.
saying this year. They've always come with a dog when they had one.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Uh,
Did something today at the.
they send somebody. They
Good.
send somebody across the parking lot in the suit and send the dog after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volunteers?
Oh, I got a couple of them. Without the suit.
Okay.
Okay.
In your folders or whatever you guys call them,
Mhm.
we did our yearly salaries for the
Oh,
points.
yes,
So
we
that
approved
should be in
the
there.
payments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
And last and our engine 4 is all fixed. Ed Eaton came and fixed the primer, so we're all good so far. Until he comes and does pump testing. See what's wrong there. Hopefully nothing, but
Did you ever figure out what was wrong with the pump boss on that up in Killington that night?
I don't want to say it, but operator error.
Okay.
Confusion with modern technology.
Yes.
Cam 4.
It's not as simple as it was 50 years ago.
It's not.
Oh,
It's not.
It's a
Everything's
They're kind of a pain-
computerized now.
They're
It's
kind of a pain in the butt now.
Yeah. Put in gear, pull a primer, and water comes to it.
yeah.
Turn this valve, water leaves. No electronics, nothing.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everything's electronic these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're working in a water environment now, somehow or other. Yeah.
And you're working with trucks that don't get worked all the time, which sometimes for electrical issues is more of
Yep.
an issue than using them every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's all I had to
Okay,
To tell you,
all right, so we'll be meeting Monday. That's good.
4 o'clock. I'll do some budget work, but we'll start with the bylaw stuff.
Okay, yeah, good, thank you. All right, any questions for our fire chief? Are we still under statewide?
Yep.
Fire, okay,
Actually on Sunday, must've been 10, 11 o'clock, I got a phone call that was, we were under our actual red flag warning on Sunday.
oh, okay,
It was warm, windy as heck,
Yeah.
and it's taken all summer for the ground to dry, the leaves to dry, and we're going in the time of year with a lot of leaves, so I know there was a couple of people inquiring today looking for permits because it rained yesterday, but
Mm.
it don't work that way. When they let us know, it might take another week or two. Last year, we were almost 6 weeks, almost 2 months last year.
Yeah, I had one guy call me and said I had a puddle in my yard. Can I burn? I said, no. I think he probably did anyway, because he said, what are you gonna do to me?
oh,
Well, actually, they can, I mean, we can get Ed's crew involved and they can be fined.
yeah,
There is a fine process for burning without a permit, so.
and this is not the time to mess with that.
I mean, granted, I think today, even, wet, but they're not gonna go in conflict with what the state said. We start issuing permits when they tell us no.
Yeah.
Well, then they're gonna be coming back, well, you burned down several hundred acres of woods here, so.
This was even a few weeks ago. It wasn't yesterday after the
oh.
rain.
Yeah.
Where'd he get that puddle from?
I'm not sure.
Turn the hose on.
In the spring.
For the most part,
Thank
people are
you,
pretty good.
Chris, very much. All right, Kari Clark, Town Clerk and Treasurer. Hi, Kari.
Good evening. Again, there's not a lot to report. There is a set of liquor licenses for you to, I guess, approve, if you're still
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that was a question back to you. Your last note and it was from the state people saying they will assume that local permission has been given if they, if they see the application, which I think is a backwards way of doing it. So I think we will keep approving the liquor licenses because we've got the chief to say whether it's a good idea or not. And almost always we approve them, but I do remember there was one that we didn't. And that was in a touchy situation down at the Cortina, I think. And we wanted to be able to keep an eye on those things. So there are two. One's tobacco and one is second-class liquor license. And they appear both to be for Suleiman Javed. And this is, where's the address?
Right next door to Town Hall.
Yeah, okay.
Right here.
151 Business Route 4 West. The chief says fine on both liquor and tobacco. Okay. Motion's been made to approve.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. I still don't know who's supposed to sign, but I guess we could all do that.
As long as we don't.
Okay. Got that one, Kari. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's all I had tonight.
I will say that the Finance Committee met and Kari had raised, and we mentioned it to you folks, that Kari asked us to look into the possibility of hiring payroll services to come in and do our payroll instead of having that done internally in the treasurer's office. So we did have a meeting to hear from the representatives from ADP, and it was instructive, but my takeaway was, well, two things. One, they were going to run some numbers for us based on a month-to-month average of people actually working for the town, because the payroll fluctuates a lot, especially in the summer with the lifeguards and other part-time people here and there. And so they were going to try and do that. And I don't know if they've gotten back to you, Kari, but I haven't seen anything
The
further
last, the
from them.
last week when you just paid the firemen, that once a year when you had.
Yes,
you add
exactly.
30
Right.
some odd names to the list.
Right. That's a good example of.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and the other thing was the amount of burden that they would be lifting off Kari is not 100%. They would be taking part of the work from her, but she would still have to be doing others of it. And when we had Andrew in to talk about the audit, we were shamelessly, we always ask him questions about other things related. And we asked him if there were other municipalities that he was aware of who used payroll services. And he did give us, did he give us names, or he was checking with, yes, he did give us some names, and there were municipalities up north. And then he said most municipalities do the payroll in-house, but he did give us a couple of names to follow up with of other payroll services. So we're looking around, and we were looking for payroll services that have experience working with municipalities. So the search is on, no conclusion yet, but that's a pretty quick summary of what your Personnel and Finance Committee has been doing. And I don't think there's nothing to bring, is there? I don't think there's not anything yet to bring to the full board for consideration. Fair summary, Kari?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The new change in the state statutes regarding individual budgets and the ability for the town, because we have established a capital improvement fund, we wouldn't necessarily need to change anything or do anything.
We don't have to change
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, because it,
Because we've had the voters tell us how to use excess.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think you'd have to vote it in order to change it
We
anyway.
would have to vote it.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Because in the way I understood what Kevin had sent us in the letter was that money doesn't go back to the specific budgets. We could spend that in any fashion we wanted.
Yeah, and it was
Pretty broad.
more wide open
Yeah,
than what
Dave-
we have this time.
Dave's money in the highway stays within highway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I think what we have has, it's got the voters' authorization. It goes into one fund for capital improvements.
And like I said, anytime we don't borrow money to do a project in town,
Yes.
we're saving money. So that's.
Yep, we are. We are. Okay, any other questions for Kari? Okay, thank you very much, Kari.
You're welcome.
All right, is Mike on Delahanty? No. Joe DiNardo, he's here, Public Safety Building Clerk.
Nothing new to report. The last thing we've done is authorize the PD to get that. I did that come in with that we needed that keypad for the.
Oh, right.
I don't know if there was a bill in there for it today, but we authorized that, so I didn't know if that was done yet.
Okay,
But
don't
that's,
know.
that's where we are right now. Everything
Alrighty.
seems to be going smoothly. I check in with Ed and Chris from time to time, see if any problems, and
Okay,
haven't heard a thing.
everything's good? Okay, thank you. All right, Bill Sweet, Town Administrator.
That packet's all back.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. So I got the committee meetings to warn, we talked about earlier. We'll take care of that. Nothing left on the agenda or in the packet. That's pretty good. I just have a couple things. The budget sheets,
Yes.
all department heads have them. Some have already gotten copies from me and other ones have had them, so they're already in progress. Our generators had their annual service done over the last couple weeks. And as a result, they sent us recommendations for two of them to have coolant service, which prompted a whole different conversation with them because of the cost of it and some of the logistics. So I'm getting updated pricing and there may be, we'll see what's in the budget and if this is a necessity or recommendation, because the cost was not inexpensive. So,
It's not
what are they-
included in the contract?
it's not, this is a coolant change. So it's been, he said 4 years or 5 years since we've done it. And he says after that time, it starts to lose its properties of cooling and cohesion. And so I spent a while on the phone with them. I'm not done yet because there were some charges that shouldn't have been there, and there were some just things that didn't make sense. So
Okay.
So do we wanna talk with the local mechanic shop, because this is a diesel motor or a propane motor, they can test that. I mean, do we want to ask Earl's? They do
I-
most of our fire truck work.
I have asked Earl's and some other local vendors who have all declined to work on our generators.
Really,
Yes.
Which generators is it
which,
The ones that they're looking
that they
at,
want to replace?
specifically, the school and the post road pump station.
nobody wants to work on them. I find that interesting.
It's,
I mean,
Yeah.
I got a coolant tester.
I mean,
well, but that's,
I mean, you
this-
can, I don't know, and I think that, you know, I think Dave could help us here, but I do believe we could you could have somebody come in and sample the coolant
Yeah.
and make sure that it meets its freeze point and boil point.
So they're going to come back to me with the two different quotes had about 140 miles of different charges. So between the two, I'm like, they're a half mile apart. We should be getting charged 140 miles more than one to the other.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there was a few discrepancies. But based upon the service contract we have, I said there's charges on here that don't belong here. They're like, yes, you're right. I'm like, great. So we're gonna take a step back, and I'm waiting for them to come back to me.
Let's try again on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right?
basically what I said. So I have
I'm not questioning their knowledge, but
It depends. If it's a green glycol coolant, it does break down over time, but at least that pump station generator is new enough. I would assume that's probably a pink.
I
pink
have
extended life.
our inspection reports, and I have the recommendations of, I can send them to you if you want to take a look at them. And
I'm just, you know,
If it's an extended life coolant, that's good for 10 years at least.
I
Joe,
just
how
don't
old's the-
routinely
how
change
old's
the coolant in
your
my tractor.
Yeah, I was just
You
gonna
know,
ask, how old's the coolant in your tractor?
And they don't,
It does, the old green glycol does break down over time, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, 4 or 5 years is.
we're not committed to anything, but that's why I said, is there something like that we have to do, that we should do? And they're like, we have found that the ones that aren't getting done, when they start running, if they run for extended period of time, they don't run as efficiently and they break down. And so this is more of a preventive maintenance, which I understand, which is the whole point of these.
Right.
But yeah. The other issue we have had is with the one at the fire station in Center Rutland.
Yeah.
We have had quite a bit of yard waste debris and water that's been in the generator housing. And the only difference with this one versus all the other ones is, since it's propane, it's not sitting on top of a diesel tank. So it's sitting at ground level. So it's more susceptible to this. So there's that one has given us more trouble and more service work than any of them. But it may be advantageous
Propane
to
one we got.
put it, to lift it, exactly. But the rest of them sit on top of the ground, so it keeps them off the ground, and this one sits right at ground level. So it may be advantageous to put a riser underneath it or
Okay.
something but it's also a different model. It's a different manufacturer than the rest of them. So I think
Or
that one's
do we look
Generac.
into just putting a diesel generator in
Yeah,
there?
I wonder.
Well, we don't have a diesel tank. So, but we
Oh,
did,
but
we
have
did,
its own tank,
did
so
that.
it'd be fine.
We did that because the propane's right there next to us. That was
Right, but
which
but
made
I'm
sense.
looking at the new public safety building, and there's 2 or 3 tanks buried there, but we
Yep.
went with a diesel generator.
We'll just run an extension cord from there to there.
Yeah,
We
could
got
do
a
that.
generator.
we got enough generator to run everything, including the school.
Could zip tight to the power lines going on the road.
Yeah. We might be able
So
to get up on some blocks. So
that's completely.
So I've got a Kohler generator in my house, and it sits up on a pedestal that they supplied, and I have not had a leaf in that thing.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, I've been here 4 years now.
Yeah, that's probably a poor installation.
It was an issue with the way it was put in. So they made comments, but they have drained substantial amounts of water out of it. And they made some comments about like the yard waste that gets in there because when they mow the lawn, it just blows in there. So
Just don't know how the water's getting in it.
I don't either, but it
That's-
does.
That
And
is
that's,
really confusing.
we've
me.
had some issues. So
Snow sits against it, probably.
it could be.
But if, well, if there's water in it now and it hasn't rained all summer.
No,
that's a
not
problem.
lately. No, this was earlier, but it was because it was locked out. It failed to start. So we had them come down. They said it was a lot of water in there. So it shut itself down to prevent itself from running. And
'Cause
so
this is a 2-prong or 2-point. If you raise that, the wiring is probably all going to be too short on one end. This is how this works.
but the panel's on a riser. The panel's up
So we
well up
might
off the
be,
ground.
we might
so.
be okay to just raise a generator and do that. I mean, do
Yeah.
we want to have somebody like JJ come and look at it? I mean, he's taking care of the public safety building. He could make some recommendations or whatever. Cause we do want him to look at some options at the new building, so I think we should formally request his.
I think JJ's left-hand man's on the fire department.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe just have him sneak a peek.
somebody should, I think the idea is it's gotta be probably put up a couple of feet off the ground.
That would eliminate some of the issues that we're
See
having.
if that cures it. And also I do believe that one does not have a block heater. It does now?
Well, when they did put it in, however, there was supposed to be an outlet installed and someone was going to do it and they never did.
So
So the block heater is there.
there's just no power to
There's
it.
no power for
So
it.
you might just well not have one. There's that disconnect between
Yes.
Green Mountain Power and the motor.
December 1st, you just run an extension cord across the
So-
lawn and-
We have a block
Um,
heater,
So,
but there's no outlet in the housing for it to run off of.
Okay,
so
so
I
how
think
do
we
we
need-
fix that?
I think we need to formally ask. I'd go with JJ to do it, because we have him, we need him to do some more work at the public safety building for that pump station. So I don't know if we just send him a letter or call him, do something, but get it done. We need to get it done before cold weather if they can fit it into his busy schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind reaching out, but I don't have his contact information, so I don't want to get hold. But if you, okay,
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
very helpful.
If you want to, it's in its fire station, if you want to be in the middle of it, that's good. I don't want to put any more in the middle of, but, tell them what we need. We need to get it raised up and power to it for, the block heater. And if he can fit it in before winter, we'd really appreciate it.
Mhm.
'Cause I don't think we're going to get the other job done before winter. Unless they jump right out and do it, like next week.
Oh, the conduit?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
the,
wow.
yeah.
Oh,
It's been how long?
Yeah, so, but, if you meet with him, if you set up a time to meet with him, let me know, cause I'd like to talk to him. Okay. Okay.
And with the post road speed sign, we had repaired under warranty. When it came back, it would not program the way it was before, where it had like words to have custom messages. So after several visits, after I drove out there several times and hooked up to it and talked with the vendor, they realized when they reprogrammed it, they didn't enable it to have the words. So after some time sitting on the side of the post road today, we got it enabled. So it's back
That's what you were
programmed.
doing.
he
What's
was
that?
an enabler.
He was over there sitting on the hood of his car.
I
talking to that
was,
sign.
I was, yep. And we went back and forth and a lot of pictures and screenshots and so it is back the way it was. So it now gives people the messages to slow down. So,
Okay,
And you're
and they
now,
did.
and you're now a certified computer programmer for
Oh,
speed
I
license.
I am a jack of a lot of different. So I kind of like, I'm kind of like the fire department around. It's like you call the fire department when you don't know who else to call, right? If something's broken, they call. I get phone call. I get the call. So it doesn't matter what if it's broken. Call Bill. It's fine. We'll figure it out. So we got it fixed. It's all programmed. It's back up and running, and it's very happy now. So
good, thank you.
Yeah, that is everything I have for tonight.
That's it. Anything for Bill? Anything?
I get home and I always think of something. better.
Of course.
It's like, I'm gonna start taking notes. Then I gotta take
I
it.
do, and then I lose.
Then I'll
them,
write a note to
so
where I left a note.
Overrated.
All right. And we did that.
All right.
Move to adjourn.
Made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No one's opposed. It's not the record yet. I think Josh did it